Yeah.
There we go.
Shelley, could you read your quote again, please?
Sure. A constant longing to love and be loving, and a non-calculating will to sacrifice in every walk of life, high and low, big and small, between home and office, streets and cities, countries and continents, are the best measures one can take to be really self-full and joyful. Jai Baba.
Yeah. Thank you.
Beautiful. And Telly. Jai Baba.
Yeah.
Baba, Happy New Year. Baba writes, think of me more and more.
Telly, it's a little bit hard to hear you.
Hmm.
Can you get a little closer to your mic? Or? Yeah.
Think of me more and more, and all your worries will dwindle into nothing, for they are really nothing. And my will works out to awaken this in you and in all. M.S. Arani.
Beautiful.
Once more?
Sure. Think of me more and more, and all your worries will dwindle into nothing, for they are really nothing. And my will works out to awaken this in you and in all.
There's a quote from Mark Twain where he says, I've been through many trials and tribulations in this life, and most of them never happened.
Okay. Lanita.
Hi, Jai Baba.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on just a sec. 1 minute. 1 minute. By loving and serving the least of mine, you are loving and serving me. By loving and serving the least of mine, you are loving and serving me. Okay, well, this is, well, I'm not a big service kind of person, you know. I'm doing some volunteering now at the center. Actually, I'm cleaning toilets for the Avatar, but that's it, you know, my serving, my service to the Avatar or to anybody, you know. So.
And by your doing that, I don't have to do it. So you're really, I'm thankful. If it's not you, it's me.
Special gratitude.
All right. So I went in two accounts. I'm serving the Avatar and I'm serving Jeff. I sparing Jeff from a toilet. Yeah. Well, this is very profound in a practical way. You know, when I read, I think, oh, it's okay, I understand this. But, you know, in a practical way, serving the least of mine is thinking about, when you're serving someone, that thinking about is serving Baba, you know. For me, it's kind of, I don't know, it doesn't come so easy, you know, that kind of, you know, going both in the same level, in the same direction. I'm serving the least and I'm serving Baba, you know. It's coming, but, you know, it's a long process, I think, of, you know, of learning and growing, and maybe a little bit, maybe more lifetimes of cleaning toilet will do it.
Yeah. That'll
If
flush
I-
all of those scars out of you for sure.
Yeah.
Jeff, could I say something? This is Sue Lerner.
Yeah, go ahead, Sue.
It's just occurring to me, Lenita, that as we know, Baba cleaned the latrines as well. But it's occurring to me that the action of cleaning a toilet, you have to bend down. So you could really turn this into a sacred practice by bowing down to the avatar with every toilet that you clean.
Thank you, Sue.
Yeah.
I love that. I just love it. Oh my God, I will never forget this.
Yeah.
And I'll remember at every time I'll be bending down to clean the toilet. This is wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Jai
you.
Baba, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba. Thank you.
I
And
wanna say
wear knee
something.
pads too.
Jeff,
Can I
didn't,
say something to
didn't
her?
Baba?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Cleaning toilets is karma yoga. It's really not easy. It's the highest service anyone could do for anyone. And never underestimate what you're doing as little, because that's a lot, and a lot more. Normal people find it very difficult to do that. So I think you're doing a great service. And thank you.
Thank you.
You know,
Mona.
Baba did clean the toilets in the ashram in the 20s, and late 20s.
Yeah.
So think of yourself as being him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always
Okay.
think of the women, the people in the airport and the public restrooms, that they're doing God's work. They were doing spiritual work for all of us when they're cleaning the public toilet.
Yep.
I always think of that as, I think, wow, they're doing spiritual work. Do they have any idea?
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yep.
Mona.
Jai Baba, everyone. I was trying to share the screen of my coat, but anyway. As long as one has a body, there will be some needs, and it's necessary to meet those needs. But wants are an outcome of infatuated imagination. There is a world of difference between necessity and importance. Many things come to the ego as being necessary, but they're not in themselves important. Try your best to want less and less. Try loving more and more, and then you will want less of that which is beyond your needs, and you will want more love. M.S. Irani.
Ooh, do that one again.
As long as one has a body, there will be some needs, and it is necessary to meet those needs. But wants are an outcome of infatuated imagination. There is a world of difference between necessity and importance. Many things come to the ego as being necessary, but they are not in themselves important. Try your best to want less and less. Try loving more and more. And then you will want less of that which is beyond your needs. And you'll want more love. M.S. Irani.
Beautiful.
I have
Great.
one more quote, if that's okay, I'll share.
Yeah.
Don't worry, all is as I want. Keep calm, don't get excited. M.S. Irani. Thank you, Jai Baba.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Mona.
Mona, where do you live?
I live in Mumbai, India.
Okay. Yeah. I thought so. Yeah.
And next we have Kathy.
Hey, Baba.
Jai Baba.
Hi. Oh, is there two Kathys?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Apparently so. Sorry.
Thank you, Mona, for the quote. Don't worry, all is as I want, or all is as I wish. I was thinking of that today, and there's a person here in North Carolina who has that as a painting, and they hold it up at meetings occasionally. So it's very important to me.
I can paint you one if you want.
Oh my goodness. Could you read that again? I'm sorry. Don't worry, all is as I. Okay, another time. Let me get my quote. Persistent and continuous performance of good deeds wears out selfishness. Persistent and continuous performance of good deeds wears out selfishness. I really like this because I feel I'm in a phase of going back to basics with Baba, that after 25 years and just, having Baba, come to me and find me when I was visiting the center, I just sort of accepted all 500 or 5,000 quotes that come with being a Baba lover. And I am interested in focusing on something day by day, and then, checking in and see how did I do. So I'm going to use this as a start.
Beautiful. Great, Kathy. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jashima and Shailaja.
Jai Baba, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone. Jai Baba. I'll read my quote. Selfless service is accomplished when there is not the slightest thought of reward or result, and when there is complete disregard of one's own comfort or convenience or the possibility of being misunderstood. When you are wholly occupied with the welfare of others, you can hardly think of yourself. Their comfort is your convenience, their health is your delight, and their happiness is your joy. You find your life in losing it in theirs. You live in their hearts, and your heart becomes their shelter. M.S. Irani.
Oh, Shailaja, can you read that once again?
Sure, Jeff.
Yeah.
Selfless service is accomplished when there is not the slightest thought of reward or result, and when there is complete disregard of one's own comfort or convenience or the possibility of being misunderstood. When you are wholly occupied with the welfare of others, you can hardly think of yourself. Their comfort is your convenience, their health is your delight, and their happiness is your joy. You find your life in losing it in theirs. You live in their hearts, and your heart becomes their shelter. M.S. Irani.
Yeah, it reminds me so much of the Mandali. Their focus was so much on us without all the self-reference going on in them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll read mine. God, even in spite of his infinity, bows to greatness in recognition of spirit of selfishness that he beholds in the love and faith of his true lovers. M.S. Irani.
Jaysima, read that again.
Okay. God, even in spite of his infinity, bows to the greatness in recognition of spirit of selflessness that he beholds in the love and faith of his true lovers. MS Irani.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, Papa.
William Byers.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Hi, Jeff. I hope to see you around Amartithi time. I hope things work out as planned.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, mine is spirituality is perfect poise. He who upsets no one is a good man. He who is upset by no one is a God man.
Uh-oh. Do that one once again, Billy.
Spirituality is perfect poise. He who upsets no one is a good man. He who is upset by no one is a God man.
Wow.
The thing that came to mind for me was Jesus saying, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. How could anyone who's being crucified without, if they didn't have infinite power, knowledge, and bliss sustaining them, how could they say that and mean it?
Yeah. Yeah, and not be upset.
Right.
You know, in a situation where all of us, almost all of us would be upset, you know, more than upset. Yeah.
Okay. Let's have Terry and Diane.
Start with Terry.
Happy New Year. Jai Baba. My quote is, love Baba as your master, as your father, as your brother. Don't worry about anything else. Purity, impurity, all disappear when love is 100% there. So don't worry. Baba knows you and loves you, and in spite of everything, Baba will never leave you. Remember this. MS Rani.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, really.
We
very
should
good.
save that for the end again. But
Okay.
read that once again, but at the very end, I think that would be wonderful to read that
Okay.
to start the new year.
Love Baba as your master, as your father, as your brother. Don't worry about anything else. Purity, impurity, all disappear when love is 100% there. So don't worry. Baba knows you and loves you, and in spite of everything, Baba will never leave you. Remember this, MS Rani.
Oh, beautiful.
And mine is, of all the forces that can best overcome all difficulties is the force of love, because the greatest law of God is love, which holds the key to all problems. This mighty force not only enables one to put the ideal of selfless service into practice, but also transforms one into God. And that's Sarani.
I could like to hear that again.
Of all the forces that can best overcome all difficulties is the force of love, because the greatest law of God is love, which holds the key to all problems. This mighty force not only enables one to put the ideal of selfless service into practice, but also transforms one into God. I think it's a total tie-in to Lanita and cleaning toilets. I'm just saying.
Very good.
Yep. Wonderful.
So Anthony.
Right.
Jai Baba, Happy New Year, everyone. I was just so happy when I read this morning. I teared up. This is exactly what I needed to hear. So it says, do not brood over the past terrible experiences you had, for it is these very experiences that have brought you to me. Everything is in my hands, and I created such circumstances for you that you would come to me. You had to come. MS Irani. Oh, I'll read that again. I read it about 10 times this morning. Do not brood over the past terrible experiences you had, for it is these very experiences that have brought you to me. Everything is in my hands, and I created such circumstances for you that you would come to me. You had to come. MS Irani.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Okay, Rosalie.
That's the source of our empathy for others too. All those things that we wish we hadn't done.
Joy Baba. I love this one, and I love saying it, and that's what I'm saying. Give me 1 second of your whole existence, and I will give you more of that which I have to give, and which I am giving unendingly in every ordinary and extraordinary way of me as a human, selfless servant of mankind, as love.
Rosalie, once again.
Give me 1 second of your whole existence, and I will give you more of that which I have to give, and which I am giving unendingly in every ordinary and extraordinary way of me as a human, selfless servant of mankind, as love.
Beautiful. Wow.
Perfect. Okay, Michael.
Hi, everybody. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
The most important requirement for the satisfactory resolution of conflict is motive power or inspiration, which can only come from a burning longing for some comprehensive ideal. MS Sarani. When I first read this, I said, what? So I let it sit for a couple of hours. I'll read it again, all right? Because it's not easy to understand. The most important requirement for the satisfactory resolution of conflict is motive power or inspiration, which can only come from a burning longing for some comprehensive ideal. Now, by comprehensive, I mean, that must mean including both sides' point of view, because there's a conflict between 2 points of view usually. So a solution would be one that entails the other person or the other faction as well, and a burning longing. Usually you don't have a burning longing, you just want revenge or to win the argument, you know? But in my case, I really want to see the new humanity come about. And of course, it's met with a lot of resistance, because it means giving up so much. But that's, so I've sent you, Jeff, some questions for the group, for group discussion. I'll see what you think of it. And I just want people to start thinking about what that would entail. Meeting somebody whose values are different from yours, but has a good heart, and you don't agree with them on half of what they do or say. And how do you forge this link with that person or this group, which has the qualities that I understand the new humanity have, which is that of true love. which means that, oh, I don't agree with you. You're married 4 times. God, that's unheard of. Talk to me. Let me get out of here. And we have to say, no, we're family. There's no getting out of it. We're the 25% that's left, and we're to forge a new humanity. How do we embrace what we have in common and disregard what we disagree about? Because we can always find reasons to pick an argument or separate ourselves, create separation. But to disregard them so that you just want to embrace that person and that you're willing to lay down your life for them. And they may be total strangers. That to me is the challenge. And I believe that's why people are so afraid of it. Baba said when he manifested that for some it would be like the fragrance of a rose, and for others it would be like a snake going through a room. So, well, these are the things that I think about. I don't have any solutions. I'm working on inspiration.
Yeah.
A comprehensive.
Yeah, a burning.
Some comprehensive ideal, but it's the idea. Well, I'm sure it's like the steel is there, the carbon is there, and yet it needs heat, and that heat is supplied by Baba.
Yeah.
It's going to be blowing bellows, blowing all this oxygen on those embers to get them hot enough for the steel to melt, so they can turn it into, turn those swords into plowshares. So that's the goal. So thanks for listening. And I have to say goodbye because I have a project that I'm doing. I'm sanding some stools for a customer, and I have to work on it every day or else they don't get done. So.
Well, thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. Yeah, beautiful.
Sue Marner.
Yes, hi, everybody. Happy Baba New Year. I have 2 quotes, and it's rather appropriate, the sequence. We should dedicate our life to God or the perfect master. This means that we should dedicate our happiness and sufferings, our virtues and vices, our strengths and weaknesses. By sincerely dedicating our life, we become free, and God or the perfect master takes over our responsibility. Throughout eternity, the message of God has always been and will always be of love. And this love can only be true in love for God. Love for God can be expressed individually through devotion, intense prayers, renunciation, meditation, intense longing for his union, and by surrender to the God-man. It can also be expressed through action, by service to others, and giving happiness to others at all cost. Without this love, life is not worth living. One who passes through innumerable lives without this love for God has futilely lived the false life. And then the second quote I got is, the more you remember others with kindness and generosity, the less you remember yourself. And when you completely forget yourself, you find God. Jai Baba.
Beautiful. Wow. Lovely.
Yeah. So Judy Robertson needs to leave shortly, so
yeah,
we're going to skip to her.
Hey, everyone. Happy New Year. And I acknowledge that I find my quote challenging and amazing in the qualities of God. Here it is. If you can't remember me with love, then remember me with sheer hatred, and I will be pleased with your remembrance and bestow upon you the gift of my love. Remembrance through love, remembrance through hate. What counts is remembering me, M.S. Arani.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, we don't have to.
Jeff, I was just going to say, it makes me wonder what in me drew this particular quote to me today.
Yeah.
I do my best, or as it is, to love them. And actually, even the thought of sheer hatred, the image that came to my mind was Christ's Mother Mary standing at the foot of the cross and having to witness her beloved son being crucified by people that hated him. And anyway, and this came up earlier, the reference to Christ and the love. But yeah, it's just incredible. He takes us wherever we are and gives us his love, no matter what. All we have to do is remember him somehow.
Yeah. Beautiful. I mean, some people kind of yell at Baba and scream at Baba. And it's kind of good to know that's fine with him, because, sometimes what did, I disappeared. But I mean that we can be however we are with him. It doesn't turn him away from us. Yeah.
Thank goodness.
He just wanted us to be honest.
Yeah.
So Jay Baba, everyone,
yeah.
Happy New Year and much love to all of you.
Thank you, Jay Baba.
Jay Baba.
Have a nice dinner at Oscar's. Ivers, whatever.
Jay Baba.
Yeah.
So it looks like Gohair needs to leave shortly as well. So let's let her go next.
Oh, Jai Baba, everyone.
Jai
Thank
Baba.
you so much, Cassandra. Yeah, that's why I joined late as well. My family's been here all day, and they've just gone out for a golf ride with Danny. So I have a few minutes to myself. So I thought I'd chime in and share my quote. So this one is very, very, let's say, apropos for me because it's something that's like a work in progress right now. It's just so appropriate. So well chosen, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's what it says. One who is affected by agreeable things is bound to be affected by disagreeable things. It is not possible to deny only the disagreeable stimuli and remain inwardly attached to the agreeable stimuli. If the mind is to remain unmoved by the onslaughts of the opposites, it cannot continue to be attached to the expressions of agreeable stimuli and be influenced by them. The equipoise consists in meeting both alternatives with complete detachment. Jai Baba.
Yeah, that's a tall order, but that's
it is. And as I said, it's a work in progress with me, but I'm noticing that as the years go by, it's getting better. So Baba's bringing me, closer to the goal, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm working on it. It's still a work in progress. Yeah.
Beautiful. And love to Danny too.
Thank you. He's enjoying the grandkids right now.
Yeah, good.
Jai Baba.
Yeah, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. So I just wanted to mention, everyone is free to post their quote in the chat, and then at the end I'll let you know how to save the chat if you want to save some of these quotes. So, or you can copy it out of there. Just keep that in mind. Even if you don't read it, you can still post it in the chat. So thank you all, and next we have Salija. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Cassandra, can you hear me?
I can hear you pretty good.
We are actually, we're actually driving home from the center, so and it's
Oh.
raining pretty hard, but we're
We'll
enjoying
listen
this
carefully.
both sharing very much. So I will read both mine and Prakash's.
Okay.
So mine is this one. Mine says, I am deeply touched by your devotion, and I am proud of the heart that contains such love and loyalty. I help you to remove your.
You're fading in and out, dear.
Yeah. Sally, we kind of,
Yeah, we're losing you.
try it again.
Yeah, okay.
And stay close to the microphone.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I am deeply touched by your devotion, and I am proud of the hearts that contain such love and loyalty and help you to remove your weaknesses. MS Irani.
Perfect.
Yeah. And what about
very
Prakash?
profound. Yeah. The other one is Prakash's quote is this. It says, there is no power greater than love. How many habits has a person been able to break through love if he would never have the strength to break without love?
Well, we lost some of that.
Yeah, we lost that.
Try it once again.
I am sorry. I will read it again.
Okay.
There is no power greater than love. How many habits has a person been able to break through love, which he would never have the strength to break without love?
Yeah. Yeah. The last that last clause. Try that last clause once again.
Okay. How many habits has a person been able to break through love, which he would never have the strength to break without love?
Okay.
I will post these in the chat box. I'll put them
Okay,
in the chat
good.
box.
All right.
Jai
Thank
Baba.
you.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Yeah.
Okay. Elizabeth.
Okay, so I have two, one very long and one very short. So I'll read the long one first. Rosalie, pay attention. In order to intuit the truth, consciousness has to be liberated from its ingrained, resistant inclinations. Intuition has been buried under the piecemeal lessons of the assailing experiences of the false. Learning thwarts intuition. Learning is impressed from without, while intuition dawns from within. Learning, I messed that up. Learning thwarts intuition. Therefore, the teaching of the mind by external impacts has to be counteracted by inner awakening. Then, and only then, the intuition in its transcendent understanding truly, sorry, I missed it. Then and only then, the intuition is transcendent understanding. I don't know, I missed a word. Truly judge without yielding to the stupor of uncritical impressions.
Yeah.
And there's something wrong. I messed there. A couple words messed up. It's really long. I wrote it down. Anyway, the second one is I will never leave you.
I will never leave you. Cindy James.
Mine is the mind makes one become what, I thought I memorized it. I'm going to read it now. Sorry. The mind makes one become what one thinks of deeply. The mind makes one become what one thinks of deeply. Which is lovely. Let's think we're God. We're Baba.
That's that quote, what Baba says, whatever you want to be, that you become.
So true.
Yeah.
And to guard those thoughts, those negative thoughts, they're very powerful. I was thinking, like, the mind is so powerful too, like that I am Baba, I'm one with Baba, I can become that.
Yeah. Baba said if you concentrate on Napoleon, you can become like Napoleon. So, you know, make sure what you're going to concentrate on.
Well, I want to be tall, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Shraddha.
Jai Baba, everyone. Happy New Year. I have 3 quotes. One for me, one my sister in India, and my mother. They both wanted me to share them at the meeting as well. So I'm going to start with mine. The first one that I received is, it is good to observe silence as a discipline in one's life. External silence helps the inner silence. And Baba is found in profound inner silence. M.S. Irani.
Beautiful.
Should we have that again?
Sure. It is good to observe silence as a discipline in one's life. External silence helps the inner silence. And Baba is found in profound inner silence. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
So the second one, which my sister received, reads, selfless service is completely achieved only when a person derives the same happiness in serving others as in being served himself. This is the shorter version, I believe, that Shailaja received.
Mm-hmm.
Selfless service is completely achieved only when a person derives the same happiness in serving others as in being served himself. M.S. Irani.
And now Asha.
And now Asha, yes. It's a very short one. Remember that nothing can ever be serious except lack of love for me.
Yeah.
Remember that nothing can ever be serious except lack of love for me. M.S. Irani.
Yeah. Beautiful.
All good ones. Wayne Myers. Jai Baba.
Hey, Bob, everybody. Happy New Year.
Hey, Wayne, yeah.
To you and all your loved ones and your animal companions. From M.S. Irani. In no sadhana or spiritual practice is the merging in God so easy and complete as in love. When love is the presiding genius, the path to truth is effortless and joyous. As a rule, Sadhana involves effort and sometimes even desperate effort, as in the case of an aspirant who may strive for detachment in the face of temptations. In love, though, there is no sense of effort because it is so spontaneous. Spontaneity is the essence of true spirituality. One of the paradoxes connected with spiritual sadhana is that all effort of the aspirant is intended for arriving at a state of effortlessness. Hey, Baba.
Wow, beautiful, Wayne. That reached all the way to Eugene, Oregon, huh?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
All right. We have Ernie next. Check, Baba.
Oh,
Can you hear me all right?
we got you, Ernie. Yeah.
Okay. Often one hears in religious discussion of the opposition between matter and spirit. There is no fundamental opposition between matter and spirit. Like the closely knit elements of life and form in a person, the spiritual and material aspects of human life are closely united. Realization of this would eliminate erroneous contrasting concepts such as God and man, one and many, light and darkness, etc., all of which spring from the illusion of duality. M.S. Arani. And if I could say something, I happened to come across Colonel M.S. Arani. And am I getting his name right? Was the Colonel M.S. Arani also?
Yeah.
And I thought that it was interesting that he came to Baba because of his intense hatred of Baba.
Yeah.
Which, you know, we touched on earlier, that you could come to him through love or through hate so long as you're thinking of him. I thought that was rather ironic that that Colonel M.S. Arani, Baba saw as his arch enemy. But he came to Baba because of how he was constantly thinking of him.
Yeah, he's at, I've heard in one case that he's at the top of the memorial tower that Baba, he had had names taken down to be kind of inscribed on this memorial tower, and Baba had Colonel Arani. Someone said he's the very first name. So, hey, you can't go wrong with the avatar, however you feel about him. And I heard this from Hermes, but I don't know, I haven't heard it verified, but I heard that Baba was visiting his home in Pune, and one of his, you know, their twin nephews, Rustam and Sorab, and then their sister name was Gulnar. And she was holding her child when during Baba's visit. And Mara, now, I may not, this may not be 100% correct, but at least we might get an answer to it. But Mara always felt bad that the person who was most opposed Baba was her uncle, meaning her mother's brother, Colonel Arani. But so Baba's there at it, visiting his home, and Gulnar has a little child in her arm, and he turned to Mara. This is what Hermes told me. Turned to Mara and said, "You're always worried about your uncle being the most opposing me so much. Well, there he is, born right into Baba's immediate family." You know, now I would like, I'm throwing that out there. I mean, I think it could very well be true. And if anybody ever gets a confirmation on that, it would be great to hear, because it just shows that Baba, well, maybe Karen St. John, have you heard that?
No, I haven't heard it.
Yeah. I would be curious to see, but I mean, Baba just does not retaliate, you know, or anything like that. at all. Anyway,
Can I just say one thing about that? You know, it just occurred to me how much Colonel Irani was motivated by love for his sister and niece. You know, he just loved them so much that it killed him that they were maybe being, you know, going the wrong way with Baba. But it was love that seemed to motivate him.
Yeah. Yeah, he lost them to Baba, you might say, at least that's the way he took it. Yeah.
Jeff, didn't Baba once say that the more you object to Baba or resist him in your next life, you become an extremely enthusiastic Baba lover? It kind of flip-flops funny like that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Baba said that some of the generals that were on the other side when he was Shivaji, some of those who opposed him were actually his intimate mandali in this lifetime. And he pointed out different ones. Some of the generals of the Mughal generals were his present day mandali. So that I do know. Yeah.
Thank you.
So Ellen, why don't you go ahead and go next?
Okay. Thank you, Cassandra. Sure. Mine struck me as a little dry, but I think it does relate to a little drama going on in my subdivision today. So even as the individual can be wrong in his convictions regarding his own nature, so he is often wrong about the nature of the world around him. In reality, it is a world of illusion that separates him from his true birthright of freedom and happiness in oneness with the one.
Once again.
Yeah. And could you read it a little bit slower? A little bit slower, okay?
Sure. Even as the individual can be wrong in his convictions regarding his own nature, so he is often wrong about the nature of the world around him. In reality, it is a world of illusion that separates him from his true birthright of freedom and happiness and oneness with the one.
Beautiful.
Yeah. That's one of those hidden, that's one of those sleepers. You might want to sleep
I think
on
so.
That one. Yeah, there's something to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was meant to tell me that just remember today, Ellen, that everything you see, everything that happens is illusion and only God is real. So.
And sometimes we have an opinion about ourselves that we find out years later was completely wrong.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, but Baba gives the example, someone feels they're a coward. They've always felt they were a coward, and yet circumstances in a situation, they stride forward and are truly courageous. And they get a whole different kind of impression of who they are. Okay.
Yeah. And Jeff, hope to see you on the January 10th, 11th, 12th. So just.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be that old guy milling around.
You.
Yeah.
Thank you.
By the original kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll look for you.
Yeah.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
All right, Patty Curtis.
Hello, everyone, and Jai Baba.
Yeah.
Happy New Year. Another Oregon quote from MS Irani, which is very poignant for me, actually. I think I can get through it without crying. Now is the time to cast off the veil of imagined duality and unreservedly surrender to the life of open and undisguised love, which is pure and selfless, and which knows no fear and needs no apology. MS Irani.
Read that one again. That's a
it's really big. I mean, I've read it a lot today. Okay. Now is the time to cast off the veil of imagined duality and unreservedly surrender to the life of open and undisguised love, which is pure and selfless, and which knows no fear and needs no apology. MS Irani, and I'm have been this year and actually started out last year with such degree of intensity that in this quadrant of my life, it feels like time in the illusion is running out for me. And not in a worried way, but it's like, and excuse the language, shit or get off the pot kind of a thing, you know? That's how I feel about it with Baba right now, that he's really asking me to dive in and really surrender. And there's no need for apology. There's no need for excuse of who you are, nothing. It's really to just accept so totally the truth of who we are. And that's how I'm interpreting it anyway. So blessings to everybody on this new year with Baba. Jai Baba.
Thank you, Patty. Yeah.
Very nice.
Good.
And Janet Jacobs. Can you unmute her? There you go.
Yeah, it just did it differently than usual. Okay. Here's my quote. You must not think of yourself, but think of others. This is what is called love. But it needs character, poise, perseverance. Poise is that state of mind where nothing excites you, nothing upsets you, then only can you help others. Then only can you make others happy. That means love, thinking not of yourself, but of others. I'm sorry.
Accompanied by music. Lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the accompaniment. Hey, Jan, can you do that one again? That's beautiful. That's, well, I think one of the messages that Baba gave to the Westerners there in the 30s. Yeah.
Sure, it's great. Yeah, it's a lot of food for thought for me. So, you must not think of yourself, but think of others. This is what is called love, but it needs character, poise, perseverance. Poise is that state of mind where nothing excites you, nothing upsets you. Then only can you help others. Then only can you make others happy. That means love, thinking not of yourself, but of others.
Oh.
Very nice. Thank you. And Kathy Scollum. Jai Baba.
Hi.
Up in New England here.
Up in New England. Hi, everybody. There's so many people there that I've met, and so I'm happy to be here. Really happy. I've really liked my quote a lot. Anytime a person's thought turns truly to me, I am truly with them. Let me help you. If you make me your real father, all differences and contentions between you and all personal problems will be dissolved in my ocean of love.
Again.
Anytime a person's thought turns truly to me, I am truly with them. Let me help you. If you make me your real father, all differences and contentions between you and all personal problems will become dissolved in the ocean of my love.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I really, really liked this one.
Karen, are you in Hawaii or where are you?
I am in Hawaii.
Okay.
Ooh. And it's pouring rain and I have a heavy sweater on.
Oh, wow.
Karen, can you read it one more time? I like to totally get it if I can. Is that okay?
Yeah. Kathy Skolem.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, Kathy or Karen?
Karen, I mean, this is the quote about poise. Who read
Karen
it?
hasn't read yet. It was
I'm
Kathy.
sorry. Yeah.
Right.
Whomever read about poise. That's what I want.
That was Janet Jacobs.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's
It
do
was
it.
Janet Jacobs trying to be poised in her reading about poise.
We all need it, don't we?
Yeah. Yes. You must not think of yourself, but think of others. This is what is called love, but it needs character, poise, and perseverance. Poise is that state of mind where nothing excites you, nothing upsets you. Then only can you help others. Then only can you make others happy. That means love, thinking not of yourself, but of others.
Yeah.
Janet, can you put that in chat?
Very nice.
I'm sorry. You want me to put that in the chat?
If you can, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll be poised paying attention to that for the rest of the time.
Well, you can copy it from your email and paste it in the chat if you want.
Yeah.
Okay, try doing
that would be nice.
All right. I'll see how if I can do that. Thank you.
Mhm. All right, Karen.
Okay.
So, Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So my quote was very related to a lot of things that are happening right now. An unwavering faith, grounded in pure intuition, can come only to a mind that is free from the pressure of diverse wants. True faith is therefore a matter of gradual growth. It grows in proportion to the success that the disciple attains in freeing his consciousness from diverse cravings. M.S. Irani.
Yeah, that's
Very, very profound.
yeah.
Should I do it again?
Yeah, do it again.
An unwavering faith, grounded in pure intuition, can come only to a mind that is free from the pressure of diverse wants. True faith is therefore a matter of gradual growth. It grows in proportion to the success that the disciple attains in freeing his consciousness from diverse cravings. M.S. Irani.
Yeah.
Yes. So dealing with diverse cravings is it's up for me because I'm trying to get a visa to go back to India.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's
And the faith part is grounded on intuition is it's there sometimes and also elusive sometimes.
yeah,
So,
no, because you've been in India for so many years, and now they've, now they basically kind of kicked you out, the Indian government. And wow, who would have ever thought?
well, everything has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the pandemic. So anyway, yeah, I sure hope you get back because you're so helpful there.
Thank
for so
you,
many
Jeff.
people. You really are.
I'm just trying to resign and accept his will.
Yeah. Well, here we are. We go from Hawaii to England.
Seppi.
Hi, Cassandra. Hi, Jeff. Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, Jay Baba. This is about duality or duality, if you're in England. It's interesting. If God were good rather than bad, or bad rather than good, or if he was small rather than great, or great rather than small, or if he were right rather than wrong, or wrong rather than right, or if he were virtuous rather than evil, or evil rather than virtuous, or if he were happy rather than miserable, or miserable rather than happy, he would be finite and not infinite. Only by being above duality is God infinite.
Whoa.
Oh, that's what I thought.
Very good. Very nice.
There's one quote of Baba where he says, God realization is the simultaneous experience of the extreme opposites. Meaning all comprehensive. What a stretch that is.
So, Diana.
Long stretch.
Dear Baba.
Dear Baba.
This is the quote that I got from Meher Spiritual Center. Do not expect anything from me except my love for you. Meher Baba.
Yeah. What does that say? What does that say to you?
Everything is love.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're getting.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Do not expect anything from me except my love. Is that it?
Except my love for you.
Yeah.
Short
Wow,
and
that takes care of expectations right there. The huge concept of expectation.
Hunter and Brad. It sounds like a brand name. Hunter and Brad.
Yeah, it's there's Ben and Jerry's, and then there's Hunter and Brad.
Yes. Dear Baba. We're working on the yogurt now.
Yeah.
Jai Baba and Happy New Year.
Yeah.
So I'll start off. This is one of those quotations for me that its power is in all the little doorways that it opens up, even more than what it says in some ways. Spiritual understanding, which is the complementary aspect of the life of the spirit, must be distinguished from worldly wisdom, which is the quintessence of the conventions of the world. Spiritual wisdom does not consist in the unquestioning acceptance of the ways of the world. The ways of the world are almost always the collective effect of the actions of materially inclined people. Worldly people consider something to be right and make it right for persons of similar inclination. Therefore, the blind following of conventions does not necessarily secure wise action. Messerani. And when I read that, I thought, well, that tells me a lot about what spiritual understanding isn't, but it says very little about what it is, and I certainly have no idea. So I searched it in Baba's writings and found a piece called Hints for Spiritual Workers, where he talks more about what spiritual understanding is from his point of view, which is about not knowing, is about surrendering to not knowing, is about living in the questions, is about listening deeper and not stopping at any particular point at which I think I have understanding. So it's sort of like Baba just throwing me into my not knowing and saying, keep going, keep going, keep not knowing. And
Beautiful.
Which feels useful.
Yeah. Excellent. No, that's a beautiful interpretation.
Okay.
There's Erich, this I found this very interesting. one point someone was asking Erich to come out to Mehrabad, where there was all sorts of dysfunction and conflict, and set down some guidance, to kind of clear up the situation. And Erich told this guy, as those guy would continually complain, and he said, I'm just paraphrasing, but he said, around Baba, we never knew what would please him and what would displease him. When we thought we were pleasing him, we find that we had displeased him. And then sometimes when we thought we had displeased him, he was pleased. He never had the conviction. Now, this is from Erich, who spent all that time beside Bob, but the humility of saying, I don't really know. I'll tell you what I feel, but I don't really know. We could not figure out what was pleasing to Baba and what was displeasing to Baba with any conviction. So can you imagine? This is Erich, so figure about where we're at, Yeah. I actually felt very heartened by that, because the humility of Erich there, quite simply expressed. Okay.
So Brad, do you have one?
Yeah, I have one. Service to the master is an ordeal which tries the body, mind, and spirit. The body suffers, the mind is tormented, but the spirit of the selfless servant of the master experiences the bliss of true satisfaction.
I could hear that again.
Okay. Service to the master is an ordeal which tries the body, mind, and spirit. The body suffers, the mind is tormented, but the spirit of the selfless servant of the master experiences the bliss of true satisfaction.
Beautiful. Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. And Wendy.
Good day, everyone, and Happy New Year. Love delights and glorifies in giving, not receiving. Can I read it again?
Yeah.
Love delights and glorifies in giving, not receiving.
Yeah.
Any
And what was
insights on
interesting with the Mandali is their receiving was really a form of giving. They were so kind to receive for our sake, you might say. They weren't receiving it in the same way. They would receive it as to honor our giving, if you know what I mean. Interesting.
No, can you explain a little bit more? I didn't get it. In terms of Mandali.
They would receive, this is my experience. They were receiving for you, not that they needed anything for themselves. But if you gave something to them, they would receive it so lovingly. But what can I say? It was
impersonal.
It was a giving back to you by their reception. It was a gift. They were giving the gift of receiving it back to you somehow. I don't know if that, maybe someone else can, Karen, maybe you
Yeah.
have a way of explaining that.
Well, I just had an experience with Mara where the first time I had seen her, she was talking about going to Pune and getting fabric for her blouses. So when I went back home, I decided that it would be lovely to give Mara a gift of some fabrics. So I went out and chose some, and I knew her favorite color was green and so forth. So I brought them to India, And it was very interesting because she just was thrilled outwardly, and um and it was like she was so happy with this fabric that there couldn't have been anything that would have made her happier. And so after about 4 or 5 days, she called me into the inside of the house, and she showed these 3 fabrics there. And she said, well, this one, it's a little bit too gray. And this one, it's a little bit too pink. But this one that's green is my absolute favorite. So I would like to give these other 2 back to you, and you take them back and make something really perfect out of them from me. And the love that she put in that was just so so beautiful, so touching. And I did that, and those were so precious to me. I think that might be an example of what you're
Excellent.
trying to say.
Okay.
Very
Yeah.
touching.
Yeah.
Very touching, Karen. That's beautiful example of that.
Precious.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So go ahead, Mahu. You're next. Mahu? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me open my email. It's here. So mine is about true control. Baba says, true control is not merely negative. When some positive values come within the focus of consciousness, their claims for being expressed in life generate mental responses that ultimately remove all the tendencies obstructing a free and full expression of those values. Thus, the tendencies for lust, greed, and anger are removed through an appreciative recognition of the value of a life of purity, generosity, and kindness. That was quite dense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baba said
Beautiful.
many things.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. By the way, Jeff, Happy New Year, and Happy New Year to everyone. I thought the write-up in Meher Center Weekly News about you and the picture was really nice. I don't know whether you've had a chance to read it.
I haven't had a chance to really, I kind of skimmed it because we've been so busy.
Yes.
Here.
Yes. So I'm going to be sharing part of it on social media. I thought it's really, it's inspiring. Okay. It's very inspiring how to work for Baba and what impact you can do, you can actually make on people's lives. And I thought the person who wrote it was very sincerely expressed that. So normally, I like to share so others get inspired too.
Oh,
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Janice.
Hello and Happy New Year. I thought this was pretty telling for today. And it says, the present world crisis, chaos, and universal suffering are absolutely necessary for the eventual spiritual upliftment and for a new world wherein peace, love, and divine aspirations will reign supreme. None should therefore feel scared and dismayed, bearing in mind the certainty of this bright future. MS Irani.
Wow.
Mm.
Read that one again. That's
Yeah, we need
that's
to hear
something.
that one again.
All right. The present world crisis, chaos, and universal suffering are absolutely necessary for the eventual spiritual upliftment and for a new world wherein peace, love, and divine aspirations will reign supreme. None should therefore feel scared and dismayed, bearing in mind the certainty of this bright future. MS Irani.
Wow.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you for
That was perfect.
getting that quote. Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
So Armel from Australia.
Hello. Happy New Year from Paris, actually.
Oh, Paris. That's right. Paris. Yeah.
Here's the quote I got. Not by armchair speculation, but by doing of right things shall spiritual truth be discovered. Honest action is a preliminary to the elimination of spiritual falsehood. I need help with this one. Shall I read it again?
Yeah, go ahead.
Not by armchair speculation, but by doing of right things shall spiritual truth be discovered. Honest action is a preliminary to the elimination of spiritual falsehoods. So it confuses me because you could, first of all, I don't know what you mean by right things. You could have an honest action and it might not be the right thing. I mean, so can anybody help me with this?
Can you read it again, possibly? Sorry.
Sure. Not by armchair speculations, but by the doing of right things shall spiritual truth be discovered. Honest action is a preliminary to the elimination of spiritual falsehoods.
I think the operative word there is action. It's only when we put things into action that we get feedback from the universe.
Yeah, Baba says honest action. Yeah, that helps a lot.
In other words, if you sit around and speculate and think about something, that's just your mind, right?
Okay.
But the way to find truth is interacting with the world.
And also,
yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Mahu. Yeah.
Yeah, and in response to what you said, I don't know what is right. I think Baba, through many literatures, passages, books, and so forth, has really revealed so far, like how to live our life to please him and what is right and what is wrong. Of course, right or wrong, it all in a context of illusion doesn't have any meaning, there isn't any right or wrong, but right or wrong, the way that Baba explains it in many aspects, let's say in discourses or, in other places, or in his wish, the 6 things that he says in his wish, Baba's wish, or in his messages, how to love God. Those are all a kind of a light in our spiritual journey to look into, so we do the right thing. And eventually our intuition, which is very intertwined with Baba's divinity, will tell us what is right and what is wrong, in a way. That's my take on it.
Okay.
And I think what Cassandra said is there, if you try to put these things into practice, what we feel from our heart, we'll find out from the response that the universe gives us where we are on those things, whether we're a little bit off, whether we're a little flat or a little sharp in our tuning. But rather than sitting around on the armchair and speculating. And then honesty, trying to be honest, I guess, is in our actions. That's a whole kind of journey in itself. What is honest action? And it also will get feedback.
Exactly. I think you only know if it's an honest action by seeing the response.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Armel, did our confusion help?
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
We complicated it as much as we possibly could for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just go to the top of the Eiffel Tower and, ask Bob.
So, Robin, you've waited long enough, dear.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks. Truth is beyond the reach of mind. It is a matter of experience. Mind is very elusive and creates innumerable excuses in order to entrap you. It causes you to say, I cannot live just for God. I have my duty toward my family, toward society, the nation, and the world. And so you are pulled more into illusion than toward truth. Reality pulls you toward itself, and illusion pulls you toward itself. If you let go the pull of reality, you get drowned in the ocean of illusion. If you lean toward both, you get crushed. So let go the pull of illusion through love and become one with the reality. M.S. Irani.
Yeah.
Very similar to the last one, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone asked Balkout Shuri, is there a devil? He said yes. The mind is the devil. It'll drag you all over the creation.
So is there anyone who has not shared and would like to share? You can raise your hand physically if you're having a hard time with that.
There was someone who had a quote that I thought would be nice at the very end.
Oh yeah, Terry.
And whose was that?
Terry.
Oh, good.
Your favorite Californian.
Yeah. So we'll read this and then let's have a few moments of silence.
Well, before we do that, can I just let people know?
Yeah.
You can save the chat. A lot of the quotes were posted in the chat, and you can save it if you look at the bottom of the chat window where you would be entering. You'll see on the right-hand side 3 buttons, 3 dots. You click on the one that says save, and you'll be able to save it. It will save it in your Zoom folder. Okay?
Yeah. And when at the end of your life, when Baba asks you if you would like realization, just make sure to press the unmute button.
That's right.
Otherwise, you've lost out.
That's our whole training, why we're doing this Zoom.
Okay.
Love Baba as your master, as your father, as your brother. Don't worry about anything else. Purity, impurity, all disappear when love is 100% there. So don't worry. Baba knows you and loves you, and in spite of everything, Baba will never leave you. Remember this. M.S. Irani.
Beautiful.
I love it. What a gift. Oops.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Thank you for sharing all of that. That's great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Boy, you get a tour de force through the discourses and everything. Any last minute comments anybody wants to make?
Thank
We're
you.
heading-
Thank
Jeff,
you, Cassandra.
thank you, Jeff.
What's that?
Did you get a quote?
Oh, yeah, here's my quote. I like this quote. All differences between one another are merely superficial and cannot affect the love we feel for each other deep down.
Again?
All differences between one another are merely superficial and cannot affect the love we feel for each other deep down. To me, that means we already love each other. It's not like love has to grow. The love is there. It's just removing everything that makes it seem otherwise. If we can hang in there long enough, eventually the clouds will lift and the sun is there that illumines both of us. Yeah. So.
So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Yeah.
Jai Baba, Cassandra, everyone.
Jai Baba.
Jai
Yeah.
Baba, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.